Both teams started out pretty hot in week one, but week two has been a different story so far for both teams. The Pens had started off at 8-1 last week and have lost 4 in a row now in week two. Meanwhile, on the other side, it was the Wolves going 7-2 and now have lost 2 out of their last 4 and 4 out of their last 6. Will these teams rebound tonight? Good matchup here on LG Hockey, the Thursday night hockey edition on Tuesday. Hi everyone, T-Sibs with you. Joining me tonight, Mikey D. Nasty, as we bring you all the action of tonight's game between the WBS Penguins and the Chicago Wolves. Mike, plenty of good games on tap tonight. This one definitely looked like one of the better games last week as both teams got off to a good, hot start. But now they're both struggling a little bit in this week, too. And there are, obviously, we're going to talk about a couple of other games, but obviously these guys maybe a little overconfident after week one, coming back down to earth now in week two.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting game tonight. I mean, you got 2 of the top teams in the league and a little bit of struggle maybe here through into week one, but they're coming into week two, like I said, both at the top of their game. So we got a star-studded lineup here with Chicago, and we got some big guns coming out for the Penguins too, so it's going to be a good one.
Starting lineups for tonight's game for the Chicago Wolves, it'll be I-27-97 at left wing, HJAF-14 at center, Prince of Zeus on the right wing. On defense, left side is Slow Mobius, on the right is Skimore, and their goaltender is Nufi Kanata. And Nufi has gone 5-1 so far this season. His loss on the 9th of February against Iowa, losing that one 4-3. Meanwhile, on the other side for Wilkes-Barre Scranton, the Pens have Lynn Park on the left wing, Chi-Town on the right, and Deeds 34 at center. Lefty is Gamer 85, Cruzy 28 is on the right D, and DeBears 182 starts at goal for the Penguins. He is 6-1 on the season, 3-2 loss to Rockford on Sunday night, and that was a big surprise as the Penguins go down to the Rockford Ice Hogs, who have been showing flashes of brilliance from time to time, but not consistently, but they got the better of the Penguins that night. And so those are your starting lineups for tonight. Mike, I know you mentioned in the shout box a little bit earlier today about a couple of other games that looked pretty intriguing to you. And, again, a couple of interesting games. I think you might have mentioned the Stockton game, but talk to me about the other couple of games that you thought were interesting to watch tonight.
Yeah, that Stockton-Albany one. Albany, I've been watching them here because I think they can really come up in that division, and they get some steam behind them, and I think they could be trouble for that whole division, even the conference. And then Stockton, I mean, they're loaded too, and they've been hot. The other game I was looking at was Cleveland. Cleveland and Hershey.
Yep.
Yeah, Cleveland's interesting. They got that one TC guy now. The other game there, he put up 9 points, so I'm expecting to see him move up, but that's obviously not until the weekend. But that's still, that game's a big one, I think, and Cleveland, they might be starting to get on a roll here now, so that's an interesting one for sure.
We're about to get ready on this game here. There have been some issues a little bit talked about in the chat box about there maybe being some lag, but we'll see how that works today. Hopefully we won't get anybody lagging out, and we'll get a good, clean game. So far, I think most teams have had that, have been able to get off pretty easily and get their games going. I haven't heard of too many issues, and so hopefully we'll get that again tonight. Teams are now in the locker room, and looks like we'll be able to bring you this game and show you the starting lineups as they appear. As we mentioned, no changes appear to have taken place. It's still the same lineup, so it's the Wolves and the Penguins tonight in this game. Several games on tap tonight that are going to be of interest. And as we mentioned in the show, and I know you touched on it a bit, Mikey, a lot of good parity in the league this year, and there are going to be a lot of games like this that we're going to see all season long.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I think the biggest thing for me, you guys actually mentioned it on your show. You were talking about the talent and the skill of the league starting to level out, and you mentioned how that's maybe starting to kind of happen, and I think that's you're definitely seeing that. You get the odd high scoring game, but maybe not as much as previous seasons now.
And as we're talking, they have somebody's apparently lost some connection, so we're going to have to wait a little bit longer for this game to take place. And and this happens, we do have, we have had these issues in the past. Always seems to happen on a broadcast. I'm not sure why that's the case. We'll talk a little bit about the scoring so far for these teams this season. You look at the front line. It's very interesting. Look at the front line of the Chicago Wolves. HJ's got 7 goals, 5 assists. Prince of Zeus, 6 goals, 5 assists. And I with 2 goals, 8 assists. So you kind of know what the setup is of this team. And watched a little bit of the Wolves earlier in the week. They do like to move the puck. I watched their game against Rockford. And they beat up on Rockford pretty well last week, 8-1, and they certainly ran a lot of plays where they were bringing Zeus in around back behind the net to hopefully catch a pass and bring it out front for either a almost wrap try or for a pass out front. I think we're probably going to see a lot more of that tonight as well. But this team, Chicago, does seem to have a good chemistry on their lines where they're able to set up plays, and you don't necessarily see a lot of that in the AHL. You certainly see it more in the NHL. But I think, Mikey, that's a bit of a benefit if you're able to know your line well enough that you're able to set up plays, and if you've practiced it enough. I think this is a case where you work together as line mates enough and set things up. You can really catch another defense way off guard by being able to know that this is a set play and this is what we're going to do. And I think Chicago does that pretty well. At least this line does.
Oh, yeah, obviously your biggest benefit is the more you play with guys, the better chemistry you get. And, the guys that play a lot together, you can tell when they're playing a game who plays together often and who maybe doesn't play as much. Because the guys that do stand, they know where they're moving the puck at all times, and they do have set plays. I think we've seen that several times in games you play or games you watch, where it's obviously plays that they've done before in games plenty of times.
Well, it looks like they had another case where their goaltender couldn't make it in on the Chicago side, so we're going to vamp a little bit longer here until we're able to get a game to show you.
Holy EA lobbies.
And so we'll talk a little bit more on the other side for the Penguins. Chi-Town men, 7 goals, 7 assists so far with a 3-1 record. Deeds, 5 goals and assists for 6 points. Lynn Park, who is I think just starting on this line. I'm not sure. I believe that's the case. Only 5 points, 3 goals, 2 assists, a -1. His record 1-2-1. We saw Lim a couple of seasons ago in the finals. Certainly a solid player. Hopefully he'll mesh well with this line and help the Penguins have a nice showing against the Wolves. But again, I think maybe the Wolves might have a little bit of a stronger edge in this game offensively. And talk about 2 of the better goaltenders that you'll see in this game with Newfie Kanata and the Bears. I would love to have either one of those guys on my team. And they, I think, will play a bigger part of this than anyone else in this game.
Oh, yeah, I think I think Chicago has the offense, probably one of the best offenses in the league, I think, from line 1 down to line 3, and I'm just looking at the goalies here as well. And I think this is a game where if the Penguins can really keep up with the Wolves, maybe when they're on the attack, I think this game comes down to those goalies, for sure, as they are 2 of the better ones that we all know.
Joining us now is Vibes, and he is also going to be part of our team tonight for the game. Vibes, how you doing, buddy? I know you just got done playing a couple of games.
What's going on, Sibs? Yeah, just got out of SB, but I'm here.
We're trying to get this game finally going, and I think it's going to get going now. think they finally were able to get everybody in there. We'll see if it disconnects once we go to the game. But a nice clash tonight between these two teams.
Yeah, it should be interesting. Oh, there we go. I know Wilkes-Barre has struggled as of late, but hopefully they can get it corrected.
The teams are facing off now, and so we'll go to the action as Chicago now wins the face-off and takes it and dumps it in. Gamer has it up on the left side for Chi-Town. He wraps it in. And now a shot, quick shot from the slot, and a beautiful goal for for Wilkes-Barre. And they quickly take a lead on this, and it's Deeds with the goal from Chi-Town. And very quickly, Wilkes-Barre with the score. Offside call, and so this will wind up in a face-off. Chicago controls. Trying to get it out of their zone. A little bit of a struggle as HJ finally gets it up now. And they'll work their way in. Another offside, though, and that stops the play. The Pens take it back in their zone. Have the early lead as they try and work out now. To Lynn Park on the left side. Gets it behind the net. HJ up to Prince of Zeus. Zeus gets it over to Mobius. Now loses control. And the Pens start back out. Pass in front. Nobody there. Picked up on the right side by Shy. Tries to get it in front. Broken up. Quick shot in on Newfie, but he's able to hold on and stop it. Wolves kick it out, trying to reset. Action so far seems to be mostly Pens. Chicago not really getting anything offensively going. Tossed in now deep in the Chicago zone. Looking for something out front. Gets it back up to the point for Gamer. Gets a shot off. Good save there by Newfie. Just gets a toe on it. Skimore gets it out with a skate. He has no stick. Needs to go to the bench to grab one. HJ trying to push it in. Has it. Zeus back up to the point. Working the puck around. Now HJ tries to push one in front. Broken up. Gets it back. Shot from the slot. Glove save by DeBears, and he'll hold on. Reaching the 9-minute mark in the first period with the Pens up 1-0. And they control the faceoff, but Chicago gets it back. Slap shot blocked. Now in the corner, the Pens trying to get it moving out. Keep on saying Pittsburgh. Hard to look at these jerseys and not call them the Pittsburgh Penguins. Now Chicago trying to work their way in. Had an opportunity, but had to be pushed wide, and DeBears will hold. You see the face-offs with WBS up 3-2 there. They win another one and take it out of their zone. Push it in. This will be an icing. But the Pens were able to stop it. Meanwhile, Chicago comes back the other way. Not able to get good control of the puck to get it in the zone. And so now the Pens will control. Chi-Town pushing it up. Broken up there by Mobius. Tries to flip it out. HJ gets it. He'll toss it in the zone. Looking to get to try and break into the corner. Good play by Cruzy to be there and intercept it. And now the Pens working the puck around. Resetting their offense. Good forechecking by Chicago, but the Pens are able to get it out. Now Lynn Park brings it up. Good pass in front, but it's broken up by Mobius. Cruzy. Lynn Park again now brings it over the blue line. Gets it in the slot. A shot. Back against the grain, but a good glove save by Newfie Kanata, and he'll hold. We're under 2 minutes now in the first period, and the Pens still up 1-0. HJ wins the faceoff. And now gets the puck back and will control. Another dump it. Not able to control it, but finally it is taken by Chicago. Skimore trying to work it forward. Now Lim is able to get a shot off. And that was I'm sorry. I got the shot off and was able to put it in. Did not look like they had an opportunity there, but for some reason I popped open and was able to put that one home.
Silencing the crowd.
It's a very silent crowd. But at the very end of the first period, Chicago not able to do a whole heck of a lot, but able to score and get this at a 1-1 game. As you see shots on goal, 4 apiece for both teams. Time on attack is relatively even, though it seemed like WBS had more of the play early on. But it was Deeds early on in this game that put the Pens up 1-0. Now late in the first period ties it up at 1. And we're pretty much at where we expected with these two teams.
I's a sneaky player. That's the way he gets a lot of his goals. He just pops up out of nowhere, puck ends up on his stick. Next thing you know, it's in the back of the net.
We start the second period now with the Pens controlling the faceoff and trying to move up. Good forechecking by Chicago, and they were able to intercept it. Good quick shot on net, and DeBears was able to save it, pushed it back out. Now a dangerous play in front, but the Pens able to stop anything from happening. And they finally work it out of the zone, and now a breakaway, and a shot just goes wide of Newfie. Not a very good opportunity there for the Pens.
Sensing a slight shift in momentum.
Good quick flip by Mobius on net, goes wide. Pens controlling. Forechecking now, steps up a little bit by Chicago, but the Pens are able to break it. Try to move in front is Chi-Town Menace, but he is knocked off the puck. And now back into the Penn zone. Chicago controls. HJ behind the net, tries to get out front with it, but can't get it. Broken up and now taken out by the WBS Pens. Chi-Town rips it around the boards. Gets it back from Limpark. Tries to get the wrap. No good. Shot on net by Deeds is no good. Saved. And now Chicago trying to work it back out. Good quick passing by WBS. And we have a trip. Delayed penalty call on WBS. HJ gets off a shot. Good save. Pass out in front is broken up and the whistle will be blown. And Chicago will go on a 2-minute power play. Puck out of the zone as the face-off win goes negative for Chicago. And a good check there. Skimore tried to bring it in. Now Chicago will have to regroup. HJ. Pass is broken up. We're going to get another penalty called. It'll be a 5-on-3 now for Chicago for another 1:03. And WBS needs to do some good penalty killing here. Face-off win, a good shot, but a nice save by DeBears as he was nicely centered in the net. Skimore got it over to Mobius with a beautiful shot from the post, from the point. And a beautiful goal by Chicago puts them up 2-1. Now Chicago controlling again. They're putting the pressure on WBS. And that almost shot is pulled off of, and that was a good opportunity for Chicago to go ahead by another one. And not able to capitalize as now WBS starts out with it. Couple of attempts by Limpark to get something in front. Chicago defense is swarming. He cannot find any room to maneuver, really. Loses it, then gets it back. 3 more guys on him. Relentless defense by Chicago. Now they flip it back in again. Trying to clear the zone to get rid of the offside. And WBS will start back. Flips into the zone. It'll be an icing. It'll go the other way. So as you mentioned, Vibes momentum has changed a good deal for Chicago in their favor. WBS able to get it out. Chicago resets. HJ over to Zeus. Behind him is the pass, and now he needs to grab it and regroup. Chi-Town working it. I'm sorry, I is working it. Gets it back. Lost it, got it back. And now WBS will start out with it. Mobius. His pass is broken up. And now WBS trying to get something going in front of the net. Moving the puck. Chicago's got every corner covered. And not much room for the Pens to be able to maneuver the puck and get something going. Bunched up at the blue line. They flip it in. Chicago able to work it out, though. HJ up to Zeus. He gets hit. They are on sides. HJ gets it back, but now loses it again, and the Pens will come back the other way. The attempt there, not able to really get much of a shot off. It comes back the other way. Again, defense pushing everyone to the outside. Limpark trying to find somebody to pass off to. Deeds was able to get it in, but Chicago will control. Skimore flips it way out, and that'll be the end of the second period as time has expired. And Chicago now taking the lead at 2-1. Shots on goal, as you see, 9 for the Wolves and 5 for the Pens. The Wolves with a big, big difference on time of attack.
Yeah, they've controlled the play most of this game here. Maybe early on, and the Penguins had it, but it seems like it's fallen off lately.
The way they're playing defense on these guys, it's interesting. They're really spreading. They're not grouping up too much. They're spreading out. When someone gets near the net, they will help each other out, and that's been a good defensive showing in the second by Chicago. We start the third period here, as the Wolves have the 2-1 lead after being down 1-0, have scored the next 2 goals, and they look to work it into the zone. Shot on net, and not good coverage on the post there, as Zeus gets a goal here in the third period, putting Chicago up by 2 now.
That was a snipe.
And he just caught the Bears coming off the post a little bit, and that was just enough. Now they're on the attack again as HJ controls. Limpark back to help out on defense, and he's able to push a pass out. Now back behind the net. Up to the point. Shot is blocked. Now on goal. Puck is loose. Wraparound attempt. It doesn't actually happen. Pass out front was saved. And now an offside on WBS. Some of the better offensive play we've seen from them tonight. The Pens control off the face-off. Skimore gets it out, and good quick pass out from Zeus to HJ as now Chicago on the attack. And a 2-on-1, and beautiful, beautiful shot by HJ with the goal there. He faked on the pass over to I, but was able to get Bears a little bit off the post again and make this now a 4-1 Chicago lead. Now WBS comes back the other way. They need some scoring in quickly. Loose puck is out. And now Zeus takes it on a partial break. Good save by Bears to able to get his stick out there to break it up. And he'll hold. Another face-off deep in the WBS zone. Shot wide by Skimore. And now the puck is out of the zone, and WBS trying to work its way back. Good quick shot on net. Another shot goes wide. Good try by Deeds to get something going. Back up to the point now. Gamer trying to get something going, but nothing there as Skimore will come out with it again. And I controls, and he whips it around the boards.
Penguins got to find a way to open up the Wolves' defense a little bit. A lot of their chances, well, all their chances really have come off the rush. Not much zone time.
Limpark tries to get something inside. Puck bounces out. Now Zeus has some partial break, but defense gets back. Able to help out here and stop the momentum. But Zeus controls. Now Skimore. Broken up. And now Limpark starts the other way. Pass is broken up by Zeus. And now Chicago trying to come the other way. With an opportunity, but can't control the puck. And now WBS trying to work it out. It's one of their defenders has broken his stick, and he's gone to get more lumber. Hit the 6.5-minute mark left in the third period. WBS down by 3. There's an offside call there in Chicago. Quick offense is needed if they're going to have any prayer in this one.
Wolves are really starting to just stretch out the WBS defense.
And now pass broken up, and here comes Zeus the other way. Again, he's headed off. Gets off a wrister on net. Good save by Bears, and Chicago gets it back. HJ looking for some room. Gets another shot off. Another save by the Bears. HJ out front. Beautiful pass for Ryan. He jams it home to make it 5-1. Great passing on that one.
What a play. Hopefully that gets submitted for plays of the week.
Beautiful, beautiful pass. Great shot by who just was able to get it off very quickly. And the Wolves now up 5-1. And Penn's looking to just try and get some offense going. Good shot. A tip there out front. Not able to get it in. Puck is loose out front. And the Pens cannot get a stick on it. Now a shot whipped in front. Nothing going. And now Chicago comes out the other way. Partial break 2-on-1. Broken up. Nice play there by Gamer. Chicago gets it back as Skimore comes up to take a shot on net. And we are hitting the 1-minute mark left to go in the third period as Chicago has dominated this game since the beginning of the second period. And it has been all Chicago for most of this one. Limpark trying to get something out front. Can't do it. Pass broken up. Chi-Town not able to get anything going in this one. There'll be a penalty called against WBS, and Chicago will get it back. So a timeout being taken in this one with 43 seconds left to go. And right now, gentlemen, it's a game that is not didn't quite turn out the way I thought it would. Certainly the first period looked like what we were going to see, but WBS has struggled. Chicago made some defensive changes, and it's been all them.
Yeah. Chicago's just been thwarting all the efforts of the Penguins and then heading the puck the other way, stretching out the D.
Beautiful glove save there by DeBears as the Wolves off the faceoff moved the puck well. Got a good shot by Zeus, but the Bears had the glove up there to make the save. 39 seconds left to go in this game. And the Wolves just trying to run out the next 30 seconds. At least you thought they would, but they're still pushing hard. Good shot by Skimore, but again, another good save by the Bears as Chicago still has the power play, so they're able to attack with the extra man. Zeus, not one to give up on a game no matter what the score is, keeps on trying. HJ brings it in, tries to get a pass off to Zeus as the clock winds down. HJ able to get off a backhander, got the Bears moving.
What a move.
One more goal on the docket there.
What a move. What a head fake.
That was a nice goal.
HJ with a pair of goals in this third period has helped his team to this win, this victory, this 6-1 win by Chicago. And certainly at the first period when the Pens let off from a Deeds goal, it looked like it was going to be all Wilkes-Barre early on, but Chicago came back, played better defense, And a pair of goals by HJ and by I in this game. Zeus with a goal in this one as well. And so it is a win for Chicago, 6-1. Gentlemen, the keys to this one, I thought the way Chicago set a tone about defense early on was a big reason why they were able to take control of the play.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And I mean, again, I think a little bit different than what we expected. Maybe not quite the goaltender battle we had thought that may have been coming in, but I mean, regardless, you get some breaks and some you don't, right?
Our game of the week turns into porn of the week.
I think that's funny. I hear some goalies talk about the last tuners and stuff, and I know there's the one goal there that I noticed where, I mean, he's got that short side covered, and I don't know how those go in, to be honest. No idea.
Well, again, we're going to recap the scoring here. Again, it was the WBS Pens getting on the board early in the first with a goal by Deeds, making it 1-0. Then late in the first period, a couple of good passes led to a goal by I, making it 1-1. In the second period, a point shot from the left side by Slow Mobius. Looked like it might have been deflected in, but it was not deflected in. It was all him. And so that gave Chicago the 2-1 lead that they would never relinquish. And then after that, in the third period, it was all Wolves, 4 goals in a row. Zeus making it 3-1. HJHF made it 4-1. I with his second goal of the game, making it 5-1. And then HJ his second goal towards the end of the third period, as you saw on that backhand, making it the 6-1 final. I'm hoping we can get Zeus on here in a second to talk about this game, but it really was all Chicago for the second period and beyond. And you almost have to wonder how a team who looked like they were moving the puck fairly well early on in the Pens all of a sudden get stymied and not be able to adjust.
Yeah, the Pens, they just got you could see it's there, you could see the talents there, you could see the players there. They just need to get a few things figured out. A few things just aren't clicking right now. I think they'll get it turned around though. It's funny, that game started out where it looked like the Penguins were going to really take it to them, and then just real quick, at the drop of a dime, everything just turned.
And again, it looked like they were, it looked like Chicago did make some adjustments on D. It looked like they decided that it was, it was better off to just try and spread out the defense and make them have to work the puck to the outside. If they did get in, that's when they started to collapse. And we saw several opportunities where it looked like, Lim Park was trying to get the puck inside. Passes were blocked. When he tried to work it inside on his own, he couldn't make it in without the puck being poked off his stick. I think that was really the turning point where Chicago was able to really dictate what was going to happen in front of their net. And really, for the exception of that early goal, they controlled their slot so much better than the Pens did, and I think that's a big key. We've got Prince Zeus on with us now, who is kind enough to give us the feed for the game, and he himself had a goal there in the third period to make it 3-1. We were just talking, Zeus, about how at some point you guys may have made a conscious decision about how you were going to play this team defensively and just kept them out of in front of your net and really did a good job keeping that area clear.
Yeah, once they got that early goal on us, I kind of just made like a statement. I was like, that's not going to happen again. And the rest of my team was like, yeah, no. So we knew that was a play that they like to ran. Our guy kind of he chased in a little bit, but that's fine. It was nothing like too concerning for the most part, because we knew that once we shut that play down, they had nothing, and it showed.
So what else do you think you guys figured out there? Because also, typically, as I've seen some of your games, you guys do have a couple of set plays that you like to work out. It didn't really seem like that was necessarily the case tonight. Were you just trying to find some openings, or did you have a strategy about trying to hit the red line as quickly as possible? What did you guys do offensively to adjust and be able to explode the way you did in the third period?
We do have a lot of set plays. You're not wrong, but if teams pick up our set plays consistently, then they'll be able to develop strategies. That was a game where I told the team, we'll just throw the playbook out the window, and we'll just try to beat them randomly, I guess you could say. Mm-hmm. We had a couple of really lucky goals. I think the third and fourth ones we had were extremely lucky because Bears was in the net, like for sure. Mm-hmm. And he was even knocking the post, and it just squeaked in on him. But yeah, no, we didn't run any set plays tonight. We just decided that if teams catch on to our plays when we need them later on, then they'll be able to shut them down a lot easier. But if we play kind of like I guess it's like a randomized, but it's a calculated randomized style, then we'll keep teams on their toes on which team they'll face. They'll face the extremely organized or the extremely chaotic. It's just depends.
What else? What else can you say about the Pens? I mean, obviously they started off fairly well, and they've been struggling a little bit of late. They're a team that looked like they had found some good chemistry early on. Did you see? Was there anything worrying you about them right away when they jumped out to a 1-0 lead? Was there anything that you needed to look at, especially for this team?
We just couldn't let them run that play again. They tried a couple of times, but like even I came down from the point to defend it. I was like, that's not happening. So aside from that, I mean, once we went down one, we were like, okay, we just got to get it back. It's first minute of the game. There's 59 minutes of ice time left, so we were able to just kind of buckle down, get that equalizer late in the first, and then pull out ahead and just stay ahead.
We saw a lot of, I think on both sides, we saw a lot of defense, a lot of forwards collapsing in. As you mentioned, that's sort of the adjustment that you made. Does it take a goal like that early on for you guys to decide on the front line that this is what you need to do, or is there a general way that you try and play defense as a forward, every night? Does it adjust as the game goes on?
I like to, as a forward, I like to rely on my defenders because, like, I know they can definitely handle the job back there. If I see that, they got a guy or two crashing or there's someone, like, just out of position, I'll jump in to make the defensive play if needed. Mm-hmm. But I'll cover the point man most times just because, like, you saw it a couple of times. He got the puck, and what was he going to do with it? He either shot it into me or I poked it, and I think he walked me one time, maybe twice. But, like, right after that, HJ stepped up and was able to poke it off cleanly. So we just try to keep defensive positioning really situated.
So you guys have been able to win a couple of games this week. Now you're 3-2 on the week so far. And you've got Providence a little bit later on tonight, Hershey a little bit later on in the week. How do you feel now? Again, you guys had lost 4 out of the last 6, but after starting the first week pretty well, do you feel like you guys have turned a little bit of a corner on this week, or do you still feel like you've got some tough matches coming up?
We are going to take each game seriously. We just don't want to overlook anybody. We kind of got bit in the butt against San Antonio. They played great last night. So They pretty much shut us down, with the shutout and everything. But, yeah, I know personally I have to play against, who is it?
Yeah, the Bears game coming up?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm playing against the Bears. And then I have my game against Springfield. Got to have one easy opponent in there eventually, right?
Yeah. All right. Well, listen, buddy, appreciate you taking some time, and good luck with the rest of the games this week. We'll talk to you again on Sunday for the show.
All right, I'll be there.
All right, thanks a lot. You got it. Prince of Zeus, who was the right wing tonight for Chicago, with a goal and a victory tonight for his team as he GMs them to a win. Mikey, as we're getting ready to close up, I know that Vibes had to sneak off for a game, but we're going to shut this broadcast down in a little bit. But again, some final thoughts of what you saw tonight between these two teams. Again, you've been doing write-ups. You've been following everybody pretty closely. What did you learn about the Wolves and the Pens after tonight?
Again, like I said at the start of the show, and like I've kind of been watching with the Wolves since the start of the season, their offense, and I've said it right from beginning, their offense is just, they are the who's who of LG that we know in the AHL, and they are extremely high powered. Like, when their offense is on, if a team's defense is not clicking and firing on all four cylinders, you're going to be in trouble, and I think we saw that there tonight.
And what about the Pens? Coming off of a loss like this, they really haven't had this kind of effort against them, I think, all season. Except this week's been a little bit rough for them, but this was against a top team that really put it to them. Even in their losses, they weren't too bad this week, but this one getting a good beating by Chicago. How do you think that's going to affect them overall going into the rest of the week?
I think, like you said, a top team tonight for them to play here. Probably one of their tougher games this week. I think that lineup that they played, especially, they were just overrun there. I mean, there's a couple guys. Chi-Town Menace, that's a guy, in a game like that, you need him to step up big. Right. And unfortunately, they couldn't get it going there. Their next game here tonight against Iowa, that's a tough one too. But like you pointed out, that they're on a streak of losses here. They face some of the top teams in the league in this little run that they're on. But I mean, a win against Iowa, this next one, can set the tone for the rest of the week and maybe turn this team around here for week 2.
They got Iowa, as you mentioned, tonight for the 10:30 game. And let me tell you, no pushovers the rest of the week. The Grand Rapids Griffins, with that line led by their center, I pass, you score, gave us a hell of a game the other night. And when I say us, I mean Hershey. And really gave us a lot of fits. So they are not going to be an easy task. Charlotte's been playing well. And then you end the week with a Marley's team that's hit a little bit of a bad streak too, but they are also a tough team. They're not going to be a pushover either, and and so they don't have a good situation going on at all the rest of this week, and certainly Toronto, with a couple of losses this week to Tucson and San Jose, are going to look to take out some of that on everybody else they play this week.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, their week's interesting. I mean, like you said, Iowa, Charlotte, Marlies. But on the flip side, they put a big win up against Iowa here, get some steam behind them, and look to continue that through the week. And, I mean, they obviously want to win, and this is a good chance for them to maybe step up and then set the tone to finish this week and even roll it into week 3. I mean, they don't want to fall too far in any given week.
All right, well, we're going to wrap up the broadcast here tonight. Again, thanks to Mikey D and Vibes for joining me on the game again. Once again, the final is Chicago 6 and WBS 1. Mikey, before we get going, tell us about your write-up. When do people expect to see that this week?
Oh, the D-Nasty rankings. They'll be coming out. Same time I've been putting them up there Friday afternoon, Friday early evening. I'll have those up, and then our kind of follow-up show on Saturday, and we might even have a special guest too, so we'll see how that comes into form.
All right, that's Mikey D. I'm T. Sibbs, and we'll say so long tonight. Once again, the final score, it's Chicago 6 and the Pens 1. Have a good night, folks. We'll see you next week on Thursday Night Hockey.